Hey Blockheads, this is DJ AK the Amanda Knight, and I'm here to let you know that my so-called whatever podcast and No More Games Radio have joined forces. Listen to No More Games Radio on Sundays at 2 p.m. for your favorite episodes of my so-called whatever podcast, and maybe a live episode? Who knows? Tune in to my so-called whatever podcast for upcoming No More Games radio features and exclusive stories from our staff and DJs. And as always, follow us on social media at No More Games Radio and at my so-called whatever. Hang tough!
Friends forever, that's what we are. Through the thick and the thin, we're friendship stars. We're banger main buddies from the days of old. We laugh, cry, and hug, friendship solid gold. My so-called whatever started a year ago. We share our stories and your stories were told. 80s, 90s memories that give us glee. And on the block party shows and KOTB. Now our friendship circle has grown by far. Hashtag friends forever, that's what we all are. Boom! And if you don't know, now you know. My so-called whatever for life. Hashtag MSCW. Hashtag friends forever. Yeah. Yeah.
It's so weird, Nikki, seeing you not recording in your office.
Yeah. I probably should have stayed over there, but
no, it's fine. It's also like yucky outside.
It's creepy over there, like by myself. So the house is pretty creepy.
And we had like a snowstorm today, Kristine.
Oh no. Well, actually, I don't. I like snow this time of year. I want snow.
I don't mind it because like obviously for Christmas and stuff, but I don't like it for driving home from work and like shuttling Sadie and all that. So
no, that's where it's a pain.
I had to make some last minute arrangements so I didn't have to. She went home with Mason on the bus.
Oh.
So that was perfect.
Are we including this in the episode?
Oh, we can. We haven't even said hi.
Oh, hi.
Hey.
Hi.
Oh. Hey, Kristine.
We have a special guest.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Happy to be here.
We're so happy to have you here. I feel like this has been like a long time coming.
Yeah.
It has been a long time. Years now, I think. So
it's been a while.
2019? Maybe 2019.
Oh,
it's been a while.
Was it 2019?
Maybe.
Yes. I can't remember what the episode was.
Probably based on the tour.
I feel like,
possibly.
Didn't we do another movie? Didn't we do?
Well, we were going to.
We were going to do one. This is a great episode so far, guys. I don't remember.
I love it. Were we going to do like Home Alone or something?
Yes, we were.
Oh, probably.
Yes, we were.
I just watched that the other day.
That was last year. We were going to do that.
Right. What the heck?
Yeah. Time goes
it's
by
been a
really
weird
fast.
like couple years. So
it has. Yeah.
There's been a lot. It's been a whole lot. And it's kind of a blur, but then it's also not.
Right.
So anyway, welcome, Kristine.
Yes, welcome.
Thanks.
We're so glad to have you. We can see you on video. It's so nice to see your face. It's been a while.
I know. And since Fenway. Well,
right.
We broke and then saw Nikki in Vegas. But that was a long time ago now. And we have zero plans to get together next year.
I know.
I feel like we need to rectify that.
We do.
Like if we could have a meeting spot somewhere. I'm down for, whatever, as long as I don't have to work.
Yeah.
Vacation's an issue. Yeah. Trying to squeeze it in. I know that's part of, you can only do so many shows, especially when you have family vacations and things that you're doing at the same time.
I am going to put in the universe, though. I'm just going to put it into the universe right now that at some point we will all get together and we will converge for like a long weekend at an all-inclusive resort in the Caribbean.
Oh, I like that idea.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
That sounds great.
I mean, you know, even though, yes, we love the boys in the band.
We do.
And we will follow them and we will go to them. Sometimes it just doesn't work out with schedules and like what their schedule is. So like, why not just make it work for us and just go party somewhere?
I like that
in
idea.
The sun. I'm just putting it in the universe. That's all. That's all.
I think it's a great idea. Girl, I'm always up for a girls' trip.
Okay, so we had a little minor snafu, but we're back.
Very minor NBD.
So glad that we caught it before it was too late.
Before it was too late.
Yes, basically I logged in onto my other Zoom account and we had limited time on that one. So this one we have unlimited and we are good to go.
Awesome. So maybe we should just intro and get into it.
Let's do it.
All right. This is Brooke.
And this is Nikki.
And this is Kristine.
Yay! And this is my so-called whatever.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
We are, we have our special guest, Kristine, of course.
Yay.
You know her from, social media and our group, and she's one of our admins, and we love her to pieces. And we are going to we watched a movie.
Mm-hmm.
We watched a movie. It's on HBO or HBO Max, I guess. I get confused now. It's, that streaming service. You see the little icon on your TV. And it's called 8-Bit Christmas. So if you guys haven't watched it yet and you want to, you can pause, go to HBO Max or whatever. I don't know if they play it on regular HBO or if you have to do it on the streaming side, but anyway,
I'm not sure.
Yeah, go there and watch it. It's super, super cute. And then you can come back and join us for a little conversation.
Yeah.
Or you can just listen to the conversation and watch it later.
That's true. That's true.
But there might be spoilers.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be spoilers at the end.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So we have thoughts. Just to recap what the movie's about. It takes place Christmas 1988.
Mm-hmm.
And there is a boy, an 11-year-old boy, and he desperately wants a Nintendo.
Didn't we all?
Is the it gift. Oh, yeah. I mean, I remember when I got my Nintendo, actually, when my brother got the Nintendo, and we both played it.
I never got one.
Really? Wait, I knew that.
I never got one either.
Really?
Nope.
Oh, my gosh. Can I tell you the story of when we got our Nintendo real quick?
Yeah.
So it was 1986. It was early. My cousins had a Nintendo, my older cousins, and we would go over to their house and all gather around the little TV and watch them play Nintendo. I didn't really play it much. They were all boys and they were older, but we would watch them play. And my brother especially would ask for a Nintendo all the time. I want a Nintendo. I need a Nintendo. I want a Nintendo. I have to have a Nintendo. Mom, I want a Nintendo. And so one day, randomly, it wasn't a special gift. It wasn't a special occasion. We were at McDonald's having lunch, just me and my mom and my brother. And it was 86. So I was 6-ish and he was 5. And so we were young. And there was an Ames across the street.
I remember.
Kristine, did you have Ames out where you are?
No.
So Ames was like a department store, like a Kmart type of thing.
Some people in Maine called it Ames's.
They did call it Ames's.
Because there was a Rich's.
There was a Richie's.
That was
my Grammy called it Richie's.
Richie's.
Yep. But there were these department stores that were in strip malls. And anyway, there was an Ames across the street. And on this particular day, my brother was he knew that Ames had Nintendo. And he was like, Mom, it's right there. It's right across the street. Let's just go get a Nintendo. Can we go get a Nintendo? And at this point in my childhood, my parents didn't have a ton of money, but my dad had got a new job where he was making more. And anyway, we were eating and my mom was like, okay, we'll go get a Nintendo. And he was like, what? And she's like, yeah, after we finish, we'll go over and we'll buy a Nintendo. I remember it was $88. And
wow.
yeah. And that was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. And he said to my mom, I knew you had something up your sleeve. I will never forget that. I know, it was super precious. And we went over and we got a Nintendo. And we played it a lot.
Yeah. I played it at your house. So
oh my gosh, it was fun. And we would like card it. He had a TV in his room for the Nintendo. And I don't know if he did immediately, but he ended up getting one for the Nintendo. And anyway, when I got a TV in my room, we would unplug it from his TV and I would take it in my room. And it was always shifting back and forth between the bedrooms. But anyway, it was a fun memory. And this movie kind of like made me think of it. I loved it.
I love that.
So anyway, that's kind of the premise of the movie.
Yeah.
The kid wants a Nintendo for Christmas. All the kids want a Nintendo for Christmas. And it's the story being retold by a father who was the boy.
Right.
He was 11 in 1988. He's now with his daughter who wants a phone.
Yes. Give the girl a phone. Give the girl a phone. He's
like, you're not getting a phone. He's like, I'm sorry, you're not getting a phone. So that's how it all came about.
But
so anyway,
do you not agree with that? Like, I don't know. She seemed old enough.
So I'm in that position right now as a parent.
Okay.
To a child who desperately wants a phone.
Okay.
She asked for an iPhone 13 for Christmas.
Okay. Well,
she's in 4th grade.
Okay.
I don't know if this girl was that much older than that. I was thinking that she looked to be maybe 5th grade-ish.
I was thinking like 6th grade, 5th grade, 6th grade. Yeah.
If I don't want to say too much because I might be an earshot, but we just don't think that she's quite ready for that responsibility, and nor does she really need it.
Right.
I mean,
I can tell you what we did. So we ended up letting Bren get a phone in 5th grade. And the reason being is because she made the basketball team and the middle school basketball team. And like, we kind of needed a way to like communicate with her because I was coaching, but I wasn't like always at every game. So we needed a way to, if she was like going to be somewhere, it just was easier for her because all the other middle school girls had phones.
Right.
So we got her the phone in 5th grade, but we gave her our old phone. So we have like we pass things down. So like whenever there's a new phone, I usually get the new phone. Then I pass it to Kevin. Kevin passes it to Bren. Bren passes it to Brody. But recently it's gone. I got a new phone. Kevin kept his like 8+ and Bryn got like a 12, got mine, which was crazy. But yeah, so that's what we did. I mean, it's hard, but I feel like if there's a reason, I don't know. Do our friends have one?
No. See, that's my plan. I just didn't want to say it out loud. Is sports teams, and that doesn't come until middle school.
Right.
When there's after school activities, there's, bus rides to away games, there's things like that. That has been my thought. But Kristine, you have kids that are like either side of mine.
Yes. So Isla is in 5th grade.
Yep.
Same thing, wants a phone. And we were just talking about it last night, that middle school is going to be the time for the exact same reasons, sports, after school activities, whatever it might be. Also, when she's allowed to stay home by herself, around the age of 12, she needs a way to communicate, like if we were running to the store or something. So that's what we're thinking is probably right around 12.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that from, other friends and parents and stuff, that's pretty much been the consensus of, I think, most people that I've talked to about it. And coworkers who have kids that are, a little older. So I don't know how old the girl is in the movie. I thought she looked to be about 11, fifth grade-ish. So I can see where the dad was like,
I guess. I kind of forgot because Bryn was like one of the only ones in her class that had a phone. And that was fifth grade. So
right. And her school was a little different too, in that it was like she was able to essentially like swing up to sixth grade for sports.
Right. And had that not been the case, she wouldn't have got a phone. But I will tell you that Brody got a phone when he was in fourth grade because we needed to do the exchange again. And we got a free line. It was just a free line, just like there. So we had 4 lines that we were paying for the price of 3. So when we had done it for Bryn, we had gotten the 4th line for free. So he had it. We just weren't using it. And then when the new phone came out, then he got the phone and it was just like, well, just in case you need to use it. He never used his phone. He uses his phone now, but he didn't really take it. But he didn't really take it with him to school. He just it was like when we went somewhere, and Bryn was in charge, I wanted him to have his own way to communicate with us as well.
Yeah. So that's how it all kind of started. And they went to his parents' house and then she was bored and he was like, well, let's dust this old thing off. And it was his old Nintendo. And then he gets into the story about how he wanted a Nintendo.
Right. But he plays Paperboy. And that was my favorite game.
So I thought of you when I saw Paperboy come up.
That is my favorite game ever. Like I will play that now because I love it so much.
Oh, I would play that now.
So fun. I used to play that
at your house. It was very satisfying.
I played it at Corey's house. The kids I babysat for, I played it at their house. Yeah, I was really. It was
very satisfying when you threw the paper and it either landed in the mailbox or right on the doorstep.
Yes.
It was like.
Kristine, did you ever play Paperboy?
No, I don't even know this game. So I remember playing Nintendo. Like it usually was Super Mario at friends' houses is what I remember playing. Because we could probably get into this as we talk more about the movie, but my parents were anti-video game. So there was no video games in my house ever.
Okay. So my parents were not. We had an Atari before we had a Nintendo.
Oh, fun.
And actually, before we had a Nintendo, if anybody has ever heard of this, we had an Action Max.
I don't know what that is.
Oh,
if you know what it is, then you are familiar with Pop's Ghostly. And that is the worst video game in the world, other than E.T.
E.T. was horrible.
E.T. was the worst. And anyway, you can look up the video of Pop's Ghostly on YouTube, and I recommend you do. It's like a fever dream.
I shouldn't have said that my parents were anti-video game because they weren't. I think they were just anti-spending money on a Nintendo because we had an Atari, a Commodore 64, right? Was that like the first, like it was like a gaming system? I know it was a computer.
It was.
But it was like,
I think it was gaming though. Like you hooked up to your TV.
Yeah. So we had like a couple but this was like in the height of Nintendo and my parents were like, here, and they got it at a yard sale. I'm like, I don't want this. I want a Nintendo. Like, don't you know what I'm talking? I want a Nintendo. So I relied on my friends heavily. I never got one. I still want one to this day. I still want.
You've never had a Nintendo even to this day?
No. Not the NES, not the Super Nintendo.
Oh, okay. But you had other versions of Nintendo.
Yeah. We've got like 3 Switches in our house. Like, don't ask.
That makes sense. No, we have a Switch. I have the Wii. That was one thing I bought for myself was the Wii.
I bought that for myself too.
But the first one I got was in 1997. It wasn't Nintendo. It was when PlayStation first came out. And it was Christmas, and I just moved into my own apartment, and my dad gave me $150 to go buy a microwave. However, my boyfriend's parents got a new microwave and gave me theirs, so I didn't need one. So I took that $150 and bought myself a PlayStation.
Good for you. Good for you.
I just really wanted that PlayStation. It was kind of like the Nintendo at the time, because it was like brand new. If you remember when PlayStations came out.
That was amazing. The graphics was like,
the graphics were incredible.
Otherworldly.
Yeah. Crazy Taxi was my favorite game.
I loved Crazy Taxi.
Mm-hmm.
I would still play Crazy Taxi.
I like the like skiing one too. I had like a skiing game for PlayStation. Well, it wasn't mine. It was all Kevin's. So
it was super fun.
Well, that is fun. And also this is like maybe going off topic, maybe not, but so $150 bought you a PlayStation in 1997 and a PS5 is $500.
Right.
Yep.
That's insane to me.
And I remember I couldn't afford very many games because it was like scraping everything. Just, I had the 150 from my dad and I'm like, but I need some games, right? It doesn't come with games. I remember buying like whatever I could find that was cheap. That was like on sale for $19.99 or something. And I remember an airplane game. It wasn't very good. I don't even remember the name of it. I don't remember what the other thing was. I know from there it was like cute little, I don't know, Spyro the Dragon. Remember that one?
Oh,
I remember that one.
I remember that one.
Crash Bandicoot.
Yes.
Fun.
I loved Crash Bandicoot.
Any kind of racing game or fighting games. I like those too.
That's awesome.
I never had a PlayStation. I had a PlayStation 2.
Yeah, I had that too. I did
not have a regular PlayStation. I did play a lot of Tony Hawk on PlayStation 2. A lot.
Do you remember my Sega Genesis?
I do remember your Sega Genesis.
Should I tell that story or no?
Well, sure.
Because it was hot and I didn't realize it.
I was just going to say it was hot.
Yeah.
It was a hot item.
I had a friend who sold me a Sega Genesis. Hey, this is Nikki. Have a little correction here. It's actually not a Sega Genesis. It was a Sega Dreamcast. And I was like, yeah, I want a video game system. So, I mean, I think I paid like $40 for it or something, maybe 50. And it came with like a few games. So, and in their cases and everything. So I thought it was legit and I played it. And you could play CDs in it. So I'd play my George Michael CD at night and it would like, when you played it, it would do this like wavy thing with like stars. It was awesome. Like awesome to go to sleep to.
I remember it was like mesmerizing.
Yes. So one day we get a knock on the front door and it's the police. I legitimately did not know. Like I thought I was buying this, but it was somebody's that they didn't want anymore, whatever. But yeah, they came to collect and it had my George Michael CD still in it. Oh. So, ladies and gentlemen, George Michael, ladies and gentlemen, like the double CD set. So I was always minus one CD.
That's crazy. How did they know you had it?
So I think whoever did the bad thing, like said they gave it to somebody to sell to me. And so they knew where to get it. And I don't think the police were mad at me.
No. Because you didn't know.
No, I was mortified. I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't believe I had something stolen, like that I purchased a stolen item. But then I was out $50. So
womp womp.
Gosh. And a George Michael CD.
Well, right. And that's worth something. That's worth gold.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway, back to the movie.
Yeah. This is good though. This is good.
This is good. And I love talking about video games. I could talk about video games. We could do an episode on video games.
We should.
Because I was down with it. So anyway, we get into the movie. So there's this one kid in the neighborhood.
Timmy Keene.
So Timmy Keene
wears a robe.
So 8:00 in the morning, it was morning. It was 8:00 in the morning, and all the kids go to his house because he's the only kid in the neighborhood that has a Nintendo. This kid was an asshole.
And we all knew that kid. Did you know anybody like that, Kristine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean,
they even had the like little intercom system.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I knew this person. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
We had one too.
Yes.
So all the kids, they converge on his house, 8:00 in the morning. It must have been a Saturday or whatever. Because they weren't at school. And he will pick 10 kids to come inside, just 10.
Yeah.
To play the game. But this kid comes out on his front step. Like, obviously he's rich. The house is beautiful. He comes out in his robe. But you know how I knew he was rich?
With the controller, with the gun is in his belt.
Yeah. But I could tell he was rich because he came out with a can of name brand Coke, like an actual can of soda name brand. I don't know about you guys. Like, my parents didn't buy us cans of name brand soda.
Well, my parents did.
My parents bought themselves.
Oh yeah, not us. Like, I had like root beer
No.
in the bottles from like no name brand.
Right. We got Shaw's brand. It was Shaw's brand sodas, but my parents would buy like my mom would have Tab. My dad didn't drink soda, but my mom would always have like Tab, and the Tab was for her. But we would get like orange soda and like grape soda, and it was the Shaw's brand. But anyway, I was like, oh yeah, that was a detail. I felt like that was intentional.
I'm sure it was.
I don't feel like in 1988 kids are walking around with like name brand sodas, like individual sodas.
Right. He also had 2 Swatch watches on.
Oh no, I was going to bring up the Swatch watches.
Oh, sorry, Kristine.
No, I just wanted to say that was my favorite detail.
Yes.
With the little guard. Do you
Oh
remember?
my God.
I had the guard on mine. I did. I had the guard on mine.
Well, you had to protect the face of the watch.
Right. Right.
Yeah, I love the watch. That was a really nice touch on their part.
When I got my Nike watch from Sunglass Hut, I really wanted a guard on it because I had had a Swatch watch for so long with a guard. I was like, I don't want to ruin the face. Like, I need a guard.
I think I need a guard for my Apple Watch.
I think I do too. Mine's horribly scratched and I just got it.
Ugh. Well, so yeah, that kid's an asshole.
Yeah.
And so he picks the 10 kids, they go inside. He continues to be an asshole.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to watch him play. And then he's going to yell at his mom to bring him Pop-Tarts.
Just one.
He offers the kids Pop-Tarts. And then his mom asks him how many on the intercom system. And he was like, just one.
He was such a
little dick.
Yeah.
But the kid that played, that kid did a really good job.
He really did. He did an awesome job
of being a dink.
Yes. I was thinking that when there's a part in the movie where like they're saying what a jerk he is. And when he takes the checkers or chess and like with the grandma and like clears the table, I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Totally no kids like that.
No.
Or new kids like that. I don't know any kids like that now.
Right.
So the other characters in the movie we probably should talk about.
Okay.
I know, Nikki, I think you had them in your notes, which I don't have in front of me.
So Timmy Keene was the asshole.
Yes.
Mikey Trotter was the guy who watched R-rated movies and he would like quote them, like Platoon and like stuff like that. Then there's Evan Olsen and he is allergic to SpaghettiOs. I was like, oh, that's sad.
Was so cute.
He was adorable. There was Tammy and Teddy Hodges. They were twins. And the poor twins. We'll get into it later. But oh my gosh. Tammy is really into baseball cards. So that's like a big thing later on. And then there's this. I just wanted to punch him in the face. Jeff Farmer, he's the liar. Like he lies about everything.
Right. What did he say? He was on the phone with Bon Jovi.
Yes. And he was like helping Tom Cruise as a stunt double. And he's like, I have the need for speed.
Well, And then the main character, I forget his name.
Jake Doyle.
Thank you. Yes, Jake Doyle. Now I see it. So that was so adult him is played by Neil Patrick Harris.
Yes.
Who's amazing. And
they
the
did
kid
a good job with that.
Is adorable.
Yes.
Yeah, they really did. So anyway, yeah. So they go to his house and then the kid's an asshole and whatever. Right. They also want a Nintendo. Right. And they want to figure out how to get their own Nintendo.
Right.
What was that? What was his name on the mountain? Like,
I don't remember.
It was weird, like Yurtslinger or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Anyway, big mean kid on a mountain.
Who looked like 18 years old.
Right. So, and that's the thing. Okay, so we're back at school and there's like a school bully.
Yeah.
And I don't remember his name.
He comes into play throughout the movie.
Right. He is. He's like a recurring character. But even Jake, like the main kid character, he's like talking about him. He's like, nobody knows what grade he's in. He's just, he's like, yeah, right. He is like a big dude, twice the size of all these little kids. And he's just like a big bully, like a big meanie.
He is.
But he'll come into play at some point, later on throughout the movie, really.
Yeah. Can we talk about Jake's boots? Poor Jake.
Yes.
Poor Jake.
Yeah.
I felt so bad about his boots.
His girl boots that were Esprit, by the way.
Esprit, yes.
They were Esprit.
That his mom got with a coupon from Kohl's, which I didn't even know was around back then.
I didn't either. I was, maybe we should look into that because I didn't know if that was something that just hadn't come to Oregon at the time. Because there's lots of things like that were in the Midwest that just hadn't made it out here.
Same. No, same here for sure. Like up in Maine, we didn't get Kohl's until probably 12 years ago or so.
Yeah, I want to say that's about when we got ours, 12, 15, maybe.
Maybe they had a big expansion.
So the first Kohl's department store opened in Brookfield, Wisconsin, which is near Illinois.
Yeah, makes sense.
In 1962.
Oh.
So there were 76 Kohl's stores in the Midwest. So it was a Midwest thing.
It was a Midwest thing. That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
So that makes perfect sense.
Yes.
Right.
We definitely didn't have one.
No, not for a long time.
No.
So yeah, the girl boots, and he's so embarrassed by these boots.
Mm-hmm. Poor kid.
They're
nice boots. I like them. They would have been great boots.
Me. Yeah. They're girl boots. I had to kind of stop and explain to Isla that Esprit was like one of the it brands in the 80s. That was that and Guess for us were like.
Remember the shirts? The shirts that said Esprit that just said like Esprit across the top. Like
they were amazing.
I had.
Did you guys have the bags, like the book bags?
No, I wasn't lucky enough to get one of those.
I didn't have one, but I remember kids having them.
Yeah, we were not cool unless you had one. And I remember I had a white one, but I remember when I got that, I was like, really white? Even as a kid.
Yeah.
My Esprit bag, but it's white.
Was this the best idea?
Yeah, right. Maybe that was all that was the only thing available. Who knows? I was grateful. I was grateful for my bag. But now as a parent, I definitely look back and I would never buy my children a white bag.
No,
no way. Nope. Oh my gosh. No, I'm like navy blue. As dark as I can get.
Dark colors.
So he has these girl boots, and this is the theme that kind of goes on, but the kid makes fun of him for his girl boots. And can we talk quickly about that? There's a weird kid.
Oh yeah. And he reminds me of somebody and I can't put my finger on it.
He's like just a little different. He kind of like, he's offbeat.
Yes.
And I like him.
I do too.
I like him. And he'll kind of come back.
Everybody comes back.
Right. Of course. He'll like keep popping up in the story, but anyway, just he's like this weird kid with glasses and he's sweet and different.
He is.
Then I'm sure I'm skipping over some things.
You're fine.
Parents and stuff, and him continuing to ask for a Nintendo, and his parents saying yes,
No.
but then they're like, no, we don't believe in that because so-and-so's mom said that it, rots your brain or whatever.
Right. And the kids in Japan, their brains are melting, whatever.
Exactly. So he's like, well, I guess I'm just really not going to get one for Christmas.
Yeah.
Worth mentioning, his sister really wants a Cabbage Patch.
Yes.
Of course.
Like very, very desperately wants a Cabbage Patch, his younger sister.
Yes, with red hair and freckles.
Right. Yeah. So kids end up going back to this other kid's because the Power Glove comes out.
Right. Right.
And asshole rich kid, of course, has a Power Glove.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, did he bring it to school?
No.
Or was that like out somewhere else?
Maybe
because he was like revealed it.
Maybe he did. I don't remember.
I thought
it was on his porch.
Was it on his porch when he first did it?
It was on his porch
when he made his sister
dangling,
play.
And the cord was like dangling.
Right. So that's right, because he only told a few kids, but then the liar kid went and told like a million other people.
Right.
And then everyone showed up, including a teacher or the coach, right? So then they're out in front of the rich kid's house again. And I laughed because he made his sister go outside with the boom box. What song did she play?
Oh my God, I can't remember now.
Anyway, it was like an entrance song.
What a great soundtrack, though. This had a pretty good soundtrack.
It did. Anyway, she didn't want to do it, but she did it. And can I just say that sister looked so cool?
Yes, she did. Yes, she did.
Like she looked like one of the cool girls
in
the 80s. So then he comes out and he reveals the Power Glove and everybody loses their mind. They all had to bring a gift for him to like allow them into the house. And he picked the best gifts. And he didn't want Jake summer sausage.
No. So Jake snuck in.
So anyway, he lets in his, select few kids that brought, the Sports Illustrated swimsuit edition or whatever it was, and the different gifts. And the Power Glove sucked.
And it did in real life.
It did in real life.
Yeah.
So anyway, he got pissed and he was doing his taekwondo. It's like karate, but more expensive.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
And playing against, what's her name? Playing against Tammy Hodges.
Tammy,
that he had a crush on, right? Because when he played the thing, it was like he was like with Tammy, like riding off in the sunset on a horse or something. He was like talking about his dreams.
That.
Yeah, he was like, and it was like wrong tape.
Yeah, it was a recording.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny.
And then she kicked his ass.
Yes, she did.
And he got mad, and anyway, he like smashed the TV and it fell on his dog, and
they all thought it was dead.
Right, they thought it was a dead dog, and anyway, he lost his shit.
Yeah,
and like he had like a breakdown about it, mommy. And so then they figured out like how are they going to get their okay. They talked about like, okay, so now we have to figure out how to get our own Nintendo.
Because he wasn't allowed to play it anymore. His dad took it away.
So then there was a contest, like a wreath selling contest.
Right.
And whoever sold the most wreaths got a Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So then there's this whole storyline with the wreath selling.
Right.
And the weird kid at school, I thought this was super cute. So Jake is hiding with his girl boots on. He didn't want anybody to see his girl boots. Like he hides behind the dumpster or whatever a few times in the movie. And he's counting out his like wreath orders. And the weird kid, the offbeat kid, I don't want to call him weird. He's just the different kid.
Yeah.
He's like, how many have you sold? Or I don't know, whatever he said. And then the kid said, Jake said to him, how many wreaths have you sold? He's like, what's a wreath? Do you remember that part?
Yes.
It made me laugh. And I was like, oh, he's so cute.
Oh my gosh.
So there's a big competition there, and the liar kid sells to his mom, to Jake's mom. I was like, really?
Yeah,
Mom?
I know.
Yeah, mom. No. And he was still in his whole neighborhood too. Like he was in his territory.
Right.
He was in his territory. Yeah. And he was like schmoozing all the neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
I felt bad for Jake.
And the old people at the nursing home.
Yeah.
The guy that's like practically dead. He would have wanted it.
I forgot about that.
So they're doing that whole thing, and anyway, I don't remember who won it or how that all turned out. Honestly,
he won. The main kid won, but it ended up being a set of encyclopedias instead.
Right.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that's right.
He was super pissed.
Right.
Because the parents all kind of came together after the the dog didn't die. We'll just say that, but the dog got hurt, and the kid was nuts. So there was that whole anti-video game movement. And so that's why they changed it to encyclopedias.
That's right, because you couldn't buy a Nintendo in their area.
Right.
Yep.
They were banned.
Right.
The anti-video game parents. That would have been mine. Mine were not like active in a group of anti-video game parents, but if there was a group for that, my parents would have been in it. Actually, my dad probably would have been oblivious. It was my mom. My mom was in it.
I love the part where his dad is like, my son, he has this disease or whatever. It's called ADD.
Yes.
It's very rare.
That's right.
And the mother's like, like crying.
I forgot about that part. That was funny because it was back then. They didn't know. It wasn't like it is now,
Right.
Obviously. So sorry, I'm terrible.
You're fine. If you want, just go straight to the roller rink. Like towards the end.
Is this where they come up with the plan?
No, at the roll. Well, kind of, because
they're talking about the card, because she gets the card.
Yes.
Right. Because their birthday, this is what sucks, is they both had to share a birthday, but their birthday was also like near Christmas. So people would be like, happy birthday, Merry Christmas, share this gift.
Yeah. So not only did they get jacked because they had to share their birthday gift, they had to share it for both Christmas and their birthday.
Right. And I was watching this in front of Kevin, and he was listening to it, and she gets because they gave them baseball cards, and she gets a baseball card from Billy Ripken, which I guess is Cal Ripken's brother, but he's holding a bat, and on the bottom of the bat it says "fuck face." And that's real.
Was that real?
Really, that's real. That is real.
Oh, I didn't know that was real.
Yes.
I was going to look it up and then I forgot.
Yeah,
but
it is
that's
real.
So funny that's real.
It says fuck face. On the bot, like on the
that
bottom.
That is amazing.
Yeah. How much would that be worth today?
Probably a lot, I would assume. I don't know.
I would think so.
Yeah.
I love that. That's a fun detail.
But they were going to sell that for good money to get a Nintendo.
Right. And they had to come up with like a plan. Like a plan of action of how they were going to get to the store. Mm-hmm. Because earlier in the movie, they went shopping in Chicago. I think it must have been Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
And Jake and his family, his parents and his sister, and they went to a department store, and he saw and played the Nintendo. So he knew right where to get it.
Right.
Because they couldn't get it in their town anymore. They had to go elsewhere. And there was a field trip planned.
That's right.
They came up with a scheme.
They did. And it would have gone according to plan, but how all things happen. They didn't.
Yep.
And
it didn't.
There were many, but the throwing up part worked. with poor
it did work
with poor what's his name Evan Olsen, because he's allergic to SpaghettiOs and he puked all over the teacher. It was so gross.
That was disgusting. But he like ate the SpaghettiOs to get them to so that he would throw up and get sick, and
a diversion.
They would stop the bus. Yes, a diversion. And to keep the bus stopped for a period of time,
right,
so that Jake had enough time to run in and do the thing.
And he like meets the parent, like he sees like, I think it's Timmy's, not Timmy, no, Mikey Trotter's mom, and the liar kid calls and like diverts their attention so he can go in and get the Nintendo, and he does, and he gets it, like he's got the Nintendo.
Yeah.
And he slips on the ice, just like in the beginning of the movie where he slipped on the ice. Like he slips on the ice and the freaking Nintendo goes whoop, and then the bus runs it over, and it's his bus. It's his field trip bus. And I'm like, heartbreaking.
Awful. It really is heartbreaking because they were that close.
Yes.
I wanted that to be like the way that they get it.
Right.
But it wasn't.
No, it was not. But I do have to say that whole part, I really wish they would have, because real quick, there was this guy that like his dad met like a shady alley to get a Cabbage Patch Kid for his sister.
Right.
And the guy had a Nintendo too, but they didn't get the Nintendo. But he met the guy afterwards, after all this happened, and the guy was so nice and put him in a cab and sent him to the art museum. But I wanted to see him like rejoin. Like how hard would that have been? Like it'd be pretty hard to like rejoin the field trip.
I would think so.
I don't know. So
you'd have to like sneak in.
Right.
And there must be like entrance fees and stuff.
Right. But
some random kids walking through the entrance, like,
yeah, I guess he told them to like say he got lost. So that was smart.
It must have worked.
Yes.
Yeah, it worked. In the movies, it worked.
Right.
I guess we fast forward to Christmas.
Right.
And spoiler alert, he didn't get a Nintendo.
And it was so sad. He got a freaking light bright.
Oh, like,
yeah.
Like, what the hell?
11-year-old kid getting
I thought that was going to be a Nintendo.
Me too, from his rich uncle in Japan.
Yep. He did get bookends for his encyclopedia.
Oh, that's right. Yay. He was using those encyclopedias though.
Yes,
like,
he was.
Throughout the movie, like at the end of the movie. And his sister was so upset for him.
I know.
Because his sister and he had come together a little bit, like in the movie in the beginning, and she had given him the idea to go to the nursing home because old people love young people and they'll buy stuff from them. So she was like, smart. I want my Cabbage Patch Kid. And it was sad because when they went to the place in Chicago, all the Cabbage Patch Kids were gone. But spoiler alert, she ended up getting it.
Which I feel like that was inaccurate because by 1988, they were everywhere.
Yeah. Correct.
That was the early 80s when
that was like 84.
Yeah. It was early when they had the Cabbage Patch Kid craze.
Right.
I was by 1988, I was secured getting a Cabbage Patch Kid for Christmas every year.
Right. Same.
Right.
And the only reason why I knew it was 1988 was because that was on the camera when they were like filming Christmas Morning. It said like 1988 on the actual on the because remember he said it was 1980 something.
Yeah, he didn't know at the beginning.
Right.
It's like it's the late 80s.
Right.
I think in the beginning though, it did say they had like a date somewhere and it said 88.
Oh, really?
After that, like right after that. Yeah. I don't remember where, but I remember knowing it was 88 at the time because I was equating it to when I was 8 years old. But anyway, so he doesn't get his Nintendo, but
this was
can
sad.
I tell you, my jaw like just about dropped when I saw what his dad had made for him. Cause like, okay, his dad was a handyman, woodworker. He liked to build stuff, all about tools and all that stuff. So at the end, when they're getting ready to leave, he sends them out to scoop the dog poop in the backyard.
And I thought the Nintendo was going to be out there.
I did too. And then he asked him to flip on the lights or something, and he flipped on the lights, and he built him a tree fort, like a big tree house.
It was awesome.
And it was all lit up for Christmas, and it was amazing. I would have done anything for that tree house.
That tree house was amazing.
And it was. So it was
decorated with lights. Like, how'd they get the electricity out there? That's what I was like thinking.
A lot of extension cords.
Yes. Yeah. Always thinking. But like, what a great gift.
Mm-hmm. And it really meant something.
Right. He was just like, whatever, Nintendo, whatever. This is awesome.
And it really was. It was so cool and magical. And then, fast forward to present day. They didn't have to do this.
No. Well, first he talks about how he got the Nintendo because his daughter's like, okay, so how'd you get it?
Oh, right.
Like,
right.
Where'd it come from? And he ended up like being a caddy for like a summer and earned the Nintendo.
Like he earned the money and he did it himself.
But Brooke is gonna, which they did not have
amazing.
To do this part. They did not have to do this part. Oh. And I cried. They did not have to do this part.
I did too. I was like, anyway, so they go back, they're at his parents' house and it's Christmas or whatever. They're sitting down for a meal and there's an empty plate at the table, at the head of the table. Also, did you pick up on the fact that his wife is the girl on the bus that had the same boots as him?
Yes.
Oh, I did not.
You didn't when she said, because she said it like in passing.
Oh,
it was. Yeah. So it was like at the dinner table. She said something about, those boots that were just like mine or whatever. And it was the girl that he mentioned earlier that had the same boots as him.
The one like on the bus cute. When they're like comparing, like
right,
both wearing the same as free boots.
But yeah, they didn't have to let the dad die.
No,
they didn't.
So sad. It was so sad. And I was just like, okay, they didn't have to do this. Like, it could have been like a wholesome, like, but
it was sad.
And then that was that.
I mean, it was right. And it was a really cute movie. I enjoyed it. And
I did too.
I'll probably watch it again. Maybe it'll be like a tradition.
Yeah, I want the kids to watch it. So
yeah, that was it. And the treehouse is still there.
Right. And the
one in it.
Right. His daughter was excited. Yeah.
So that's it. That was the movie.
Yeah.
Any other tidbits that we want to include?
I just want to say, did anybody notice the parallels with A Christmas Story? Okay, so you have the main kid who's just after the one thing the entire movie and is plotting to get it. So I feel like this was basically A Christmas Story for like us when we were kids.
I kind of agree.
Get that, and I agree. Yeah.
They have the bully, right? And he stands up to the bully.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of parallels with it. And so I just was like, you know what? This was, and I feel like the movie was made for our generation. Our kids can enjoy it. And like Isla was really excited because she's super into Nintendo. But I feel like it was made for us. I feel like that's why they hired Neil Patrick Harris. He was perfect.
Yep.
Yes.
Oh, he really was perfect.
Yeah. Like it was meant for us. I'm just going to say that.
I agree with you. I
agree with that. I think 100%. I think that's awesome. I kind of thought that like, this is kind of like A Christmas Story, but I have never seen that movie in full.
What?
I have probably seen the movie in parts all separately, but I've never sat down and watched it like start to finish.
You should.
Yeah.
You absolutely should.
Every year I say I'm going to. I also get like easily distracted when I'm watching movies. So I'm kind of like Sadie. I don't really have the attention span for a lot of movies. But I kind of thought the same thing, like, this is kind of familiar. But Kristine, that makes perfect sense. Like this movie was made for us. Like A Christmas Story was made for like our parents.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
Yeah. It is. And I still love A Christmas Story. I do. But yeah, it was definitely, that was like the parents or even grandparents' generation. My dad loved A Christmas Story.
Yes.
And he was of a different generation because he would be like our grandparents because he was 56 when I was born. But
yes. Yeah.
You know, the toys that they had in that movie weren't that different from what he had, you know, fire trucks and things like that. And
right. Cool. Right.
Yeah. But yeah. So it is. It's like Christmas Story was for the parents and this is for us.
This is totally off topic, but did you know that it's been going around Facebook, but did you know that the boy in A Christmas Story was also an elf?
You mean in the movie Elf?
Yes. So the boy that's in the Christmas Story, the main character, is in the movie Elf as an elf.
Yep.
I did not know that.
I've never seen the movie Elf.
Okay, oh my God, bro.
I've never seen it either. Okay.
What?
And Brooke and I might get some hate for this because people love this movie.
Yeah.
Yes, it's amazing. I love it.
So for me, I'm not a Will Ferrell fan. I have family and friends that are like, no, you have to watch this movie. And I never have.
I absolutely love it.
I do know that he's in that. And I think because he's in a bunch of movies, but in like background parts because he's friends with like, and I don't know, I think he may have done it. Is Elf a Jon Favreau movie? Because they're buddies.
I think it is. He was in the movie.
Yeah.
Jon Favreau was in the movie.
Oh, then that would make sense.
That's the connection. And like Vince Vaughn. So you'll find that he is in movies with those guys.
Director Jon Favreau. Yes.
Yes.
Is his name Peter Kingsley? Peter Kingsley? Is that what his name is? The kid that the one?
I'm gonna find him. Peter Billingsley.
Billingsley?
Yeah. He plays
I knew it was something like that. Ming Ming. No, I've tried watching Elf. I don't really love it. And I couldn't get into it. I'm not a huge Will Ferrell fan.
It bums people out. Yeah,
it does bum people out.
People are passionate about that movie.
I'm very passionate about it.
I will say that the Penobscot Theater Company did Elf as their holiday play a few years ago, and I did see that. So I know the story.
Okay.
I've seen it on stage. I have not seen it in the movie.
Like I said, my kids love it. And it's like a movie that we all watch together and we all laugh and we love it. And I love Bob Newhart. So it makes me think of my grandparents. So because they always loved watching Newhart.
Newhart. Yeah. Wow. Anyway, don't come at us for for
their non-love of Elf,
please.
Well, that was fun.
Well, that's it.
That was great. And we're in the Christmas spirit, the holiday spirit.
Yes, I am 100%. You see my lights?
Yeah, we can see it. You look at Brooke. You've got your stockings in the background.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
It almost looks like a fake scene. Stockings. You know what I mean? Like a fake backdrop because it's like,
ooh,
it's so pretty.
I did that on purpose. Actually, I didn't. I'm just trying to record upstairs now. But yeah, that's my Christmas living room.
I love it.
Me too.
Mine's right here.
Ooh la la.
I've got a bunch of boxes there, but there's my spinning tree.
Nikki's rotating tree.
Yes. Yes, I got a bunch of boxes today. And I was like, ooh, but nothing's really for me. Except I did get the Saved by the Bell makeup Wet and Wild kit. I didn't really need it, but I got it.
Ooh.
Oh, I think I saw that.
Yeah. I have not seen that. And I feel like I probably need to get that for Isla because she's my 80s and 90s loving kid.
Ooh. I love that for you.
It's on sale right now in Ulta. So you got to go get it. It's on sale.
Yeah, it might make a nice little gift.
It's a big locker. It's like a big locker.
Oh, someone posted that in the group, didn't they?
Yes. And so you open it up and like the brushes are in like a cell phone. It's really funny. And it's just really cute. I think Isla would love it.
Yeah, that's right up her alley. Yep. Because she just got those little Funkos that we got the Zach Morris and
oh, fun.
little pop Funkos.
I didn't know they had them.
Yes. So we were at the Star Wars Star at the mall actually, and they have like a whole wall of them. And they were on the top shelf. And so I called the guy over. I was like, how much are those? And he's like, oh, those ones on the top shelf are between like $20 and $200. I'm like, oh no, but they weren't that bad.
Oh, good.
And because it was the only two, I was like, okay, we'll get them. Very early Christmas.
Aww. I'm
That's
addicted to
fun.
Funko Pops, but I've now been like, no,
I'm
I can't get any more. I can't get any more. I don't have any place to put them. So
Yeah.
except in my office, which is like
One of the guys at my office, he has a bunch and he has a bookshelf behind his desk that he keeps them on.
that's smart. That's smart.
I don't understand what any of them are, but he likes them.
Are they
so
like
cool,
anime?
cool. They're mostly like Disney and like mostly Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
So, but I don't understand Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
Like, I don't know the characters. I know just a couple, like the normal ones. So anyway, that's that.
And that's our episode. So
That's it. So thanks so much, guys. Kristine.
yes, Kristine, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for having me.
It was so fun.
It was Kristine's idea. Actually, she was the one that told us about the movie. So we were like, hello, you need to come on and like we'll talk about it. So,
Right.
I was very excited when I saw the trailer for this movie.
Yeah.
Very excited. I knew, yeah. I once I saw what it was, I was like, oh, this is an 80s Christmas story. This is perfect.
Yes.
Oh, yes. Amazing. Well, we're so glad that you came on. It was so fun.
Yes.
It's so nice to see your
Thank you.
face, even if it's on
Yeah.
a little screen.
Right.
Hey, guys, we need your stories.
Yes. Please send us your Christmas stories. We would like to hear
100%.
them.
We would like to do
One more episode next week. Christmas episode. So
send us your Christmas stories,
Yes.
pick-a-picks.
yes.
It's been a while since we've really had any of those. And yeah, we can't wait. mycellcallwhatever@gmail.com.
We'll be loving you forever.
And ever.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.